I went to the airport with my daughter-in-law and my grandson to welcome my son home after a year working overseas. We'd been waiting excitedly near the international arrivals gate when a security officer suddenly approached me. "Ma'am, where's the woman who was with you?" he asked. I was confused. "You mean my daughter-in-law, Sarah? She just went to the restroom." Over his radio, a voice snapped, "She's heading toward the exit. Team G, surround her." My stomach dropped. I grabbed my phone and called Sarah, but it went straight to voicemail. The phone was off. 15 minutes later, the entire terminal was chaos, officers rushing everywhere, passengers whispering, phones recording. I held my grandson Ethan tight as he started to get scared. Then I saw him, my son, Daniel, walking through the gate, tanned and thinner but smiling that same warm smile I'd missed for a whole year. He waved, started toward us, and 2 officers stepped in front of him. "Daniel Brooks?" one asked. He nodded, confused. The handcuffs clicked. A gift bag he was carrying hit the floor. I screamed, "You've got the wrong person." But they weren't listening. They told me Daniel had been arrested for ties to an international fraud ring. I couldn't breathe. They took him away while I stood frozen, clutching Ethan as he cried. They drove us to the station. I called my cousin Lisa to come get Ethan. Watching him leave in her arms, sobbing for his daddy and mommy, broke something inside me. I'm Evelyn Brooks, a retired schoolteacher. My husband passed 10 years ago, and since then my world has been Daniel and little Ethan. Daniel is a good man, honest, hard-working carpenter, maybe too trusting. Sarah seemed perfect. Loving wife, devoted mother, successful with her online craft business. She'd taken care of me while Daniel was in London. Or so I thought. Sitting in that cold waiting area, memories I'd ignored started flooding back. Late-night whispers on the balcony. Expensive bags and jewelry she claimed were bonuses. That one afternoon I overheard her on the phone. "No, don't use my account, it's too risky. Use Daniel's. He's overseas, he won't notice. It'll look cleaner." I'd told myself it was nothing. I didn't want to rock the boat. Now my silence felt like betrayal. Hours later, the lead investigator, Detective Harlan, showed me the file. Over $2 million had moved through an account in Daniel's name, then vanished offshore. Every transfer bore Daniel's signature. I begged to see my son. When they finally let me in, Daniel looked crushed. Through tears he told me Sarah had asked him to sign papers for her business the day before he left for London. "Sign quick, babe, the lawyer's waiting." He'd trusted her. He'd signed everything without reading. Detective Harlan returned with worse news. Sarah was the ringleader in the southeast. She'd planned her escape the moment she sensed trouble. Daniel was the perfect fall guy. Lawyer after lawyer turned us down. The evidence looked airtight. Hope was slipping away. Then one evening, the doorbell rang. A woman in her 40s stood there, sharp eyes, simple clothes. "Mrs. Brooks, I'm Detective Maya Reed, Cyber Crimes Unit. I've been tracking Sarah Bennett for months. She believed Daniel was innocent. Real criminals don't use their own names, they use someone trusting, someone far away. But belief wasn't proof. We needed evidence. With my permission, Maya searched Sarah's locked home office. Behind a false drawer bottom we found burner phones, SIM cards labeled with European countries, notebooks listing elderly victims and stolen amounts, and photos of Sarah with known international criminals, including one with a long scar on his cheek. Maya took everything for analysis and warned me to stay quiet. My safety mattered. That same evening, my longtime neighbor Mrs. Harriet Walsh came over, worried after hearing rumors. When I broke down and told her everything, leaving out Maya's visit, Harriet grew quiet. Then she whispered, 2 weeks ago I saw Sarah late at night by the gate, talking to a tall man with a scar on his cheek. She handed him an envelope and said, "The package for Frankfurt." He replied, "The widow in Detroit is clean." A witness. I begged Harriet to come to the station with me. She agreed instantly. As we drove, a white truck barreled out of nowhere and slammed into us. Everything went black. I woke in the hospital. Maya was beside my bed, face grim. Harriet hadn't survived. The truck fled. Rage replaced fear. They weren't just thieves, they were killers. Maya's team traced the truck rental to a man named Victor Kane, long scar on his cheek, known enforcer. They arrested him. Under pressure and photos of the elderly victims, including Harriet, he cracked. He'd been hired by Sarah. And he revealed Sarah kept an external hard drive with everything. Victim lists, call recordings, money trails, even meetings with the ringleaders, her insurance. Using Victor's phone records, they located Sarah in a remote cabin in the mountains. SWAT moved in at dawn. I watched from the command van as they took her into custody. She glared at me through the window, pure hatred. With the hard drive's evidence and her own recorded phone call bragging that Daniel was the lovesick fool taking the fall, charges against him were dropped immediately. I brought Daniel home. He hugged Ethan so tight neither let go for minutes. The scars remained, but we were together. Daniel filed for divorce and won full custody. Sarah never fought it. We sold the Atlanta house, too many ghosts, and moved to a quiet coastal town in the Carolinas. I opened a little bakery called Serenity Sweets. The smell of fresh bread and cinnamon became my healing. Daniel works at a local workshop and is there every afternoon for Ethan. We walk the beach, rebuild sandcastles, read stories at night. One Sunday, Maya, now Captain Reed, visited in a sundress, bringing Ethan a wooden sailboat. Seeing my son laugh again, my grandson's joy echoing with the waves, I felt peace settle in my heart. I learned a hard lesson. Blind trust can destroy us, and sometimes we must fight for truth even when it's terrifying. But justice, when we refuse to give up, does come. Thank you for listening to this story on the Whispers of Secrets. If it touched you, let me know in the comments, where are you watching from tonight? I love hearing how far these stories travel. Drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Your support means everything and helps me keep sharing these real-life journeys. See you in the comments, and in the next whisper. With love.